This is 8 ounces of pre-washed, washed again, dried and roughly cut spinach. You need 1 brown onion and try to chop it into as small pieces as possible. Place the chopped onions into a little bowl. In the afternoon, get your puff pastry out of the freezer and place them in the regular side of the refrigerator. Place about 3 tablespoons of olive oil in a pot and turn it on, medium. When the oil is hot, put your chopped onions and start to soften it. Meanwhile, get some parsley ready. I only use the leaves. Occasionally, give the onion some stirring in the pot. Chop the parsley and then put it aside. Get your spices ready. 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. 1/4 teaspoon of basil leaves. 1/4 teaspoon full of oregano leaves. 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. Absolutely no salt, because we're going to use feta cheese, and feta cheese usually has a lot of salt in it. Do not add any salt. Mix. Set it aside. You can see the onion became translucent. Now this is when you're going to start adding in the roughly chopped spinach. Put the half and wait for it to wilt before you add the rest. Mix it well with the onion. This should take about 10 minutes. You may want to lower the heat. Do not put any spices at this time, because we're going to drain this, and if you drain it, or when you drain it, all those spices is going to be gone. So wait until this is ready. When the spinach is almost done, add your chopped parsley. Stir. After stirring in the parsley for a minute, turn off the heat. put the entire content into the colander. Try to drain as much water as possible. Get a bowl, plate, the spinach and the onion. In it, and then this is very hot. If you put the cheese now, the cheese is going to melt and it's going to become very messy. So best idea is to put this in the refrigerator for about an hour. Alright, after about hour and a half this being in the refrigerator, I'm going to add my cheese. What kind of cheese you want to add in your recipe, it's up to you. What I use is Balbresso, French feta cheese. I also add some cheddar jack, shredded blend of mild cheddar and Monterey Jack cheese. Not too much, just to give it extra taste. Now, you have to thoroughly mix this. This is the time when you're going to add your spices. As I said, absolutely no salt. Feta cheese has a lot of salt in it. If you put more salt, this is going to be very, very salty and not good. You may want to use a knife to chop and mix at the same time. Each pack of puff pastry has 8 in it, so I'm gonna get a total of 16 pieces of Borek from this. So the best way to do is to get equal portions or almost equal portion. First divide it into half, right inside the bowl. I mean roughly. Then get that half out of the plate. And try to get 8 pieces from this. Now, that half of the half, make another half. And from that half, get another half. And from that half, get another half. Half, another half. Get some water into a bowl and a plate. Dip your fingers into the bowl in the water and get at those little portions and then turn them into, you can make them into a ball, but I learned that making them into this kind of a shape is easier to work with in the end. If you notice that one portion is less than the other, get some from the one that has more, so you can make them equally or almost equal portions. You could feel it with your hands, which one is bigger, which one is smaller. Okay, once you have the 16 portions, you're not ready to bake yet, so put this into the refrigerator. At the final stage before baking, you have to make sure you have these items very handy, because once you start making the rolls, you don't have much time to waste. An egg, some flour, a brush, a bowl, and your baking sheets. Beat the egg. Sprinkle some flour into the baking sheets. Put these aside. Get the puff pastry out of the refrigerator and carefully separate them. Usually they have some piece of paper beside, so I separate it and I put it aside. Separate, put aside. Have a bowl of water also ready on the side. Feel which one is the softest and continue. Dip the water, get that portion, brush the egg in, roll. Hit it. 2, 3, 4. Fork. Tray. Next. Feel the softer one. Flour. Flour. Roll. Dip. Portion. Egg. Roll. Gotta have to do this a little fast because the dough is not supposed to get dry. After you are done with the first batch, start preheating your oven. Bake at 380 degrees Fahrenheit. Cut. Take them out. Repeat the same thing you did prior. This is the final stage before placing this into the oven. You still have some eggs left. You have to brush the top to give the Borek a golden baked look. Get yourself a little stick and make 3 holes on each one. That will allow steam to be released when it's baking. If you want to give this recipe a professional look, get yourself Italian seasoning and sprinkle. "45 minutes. Around half time, it's a good idea to transfer the top tray to the bottom rack and the bottom tray to the top rack. After 45 minutes, turn off the oven and keep it in there for about 15 minutes before you take them out. Making Borek requires a lot of time and effort. However, once you make this many, See, today I'm going to eat only one with soup, some fries and olive tapenade. And the rest, 15 pieces of it, I'm going to freeze them. And that way I have a portion of my lunch for the next 15 days.